Hello there, this is Rom coming back at you with yet another car video. This was a long title. I had to write this one down. Many men don't know what gets women because they don't get women. And I said I would talk about this, I alluded to this yesterday, because you get some men out here, too many men. They thinking, oh, this is what gets women. Oh, you gotta have looks just to get women. That's all it takes. They don't have looks themselves. Because if they did, they would know it takes more than looks. And I use the example handsome man game. You can just do a YouTube search on that, and you got some content creators creating that. If all it took was looks, dudes wouldn't have a problem. The whole concept of handsome man game wouldn't be there. Or you get some guys saying it's just money, but these guys don't have money. If you out here in the game, if you actually dealt with some women, you know it takes a lot of little things. Because even when I talk about body game, I talk about that from personal experience. And I can get some feedback for it, so I know it works. And even then, I know from personal experience and from other people that you gotta still be able to talk to them no matter what. I talk about the things that I know from personal experience work and from what seeing other people work. But see, here's the problem. You got a lot of guys, they'll get online, they'll comment and say, oh, no, that's all you need. Is it working for you, motherfucker? Is it working for you? Or you just need money? Okay, you got money. It's working for you. Because what I noticed over the years when people try to go against something, they can't say it. Or you get some guys like the looks thing. They'll say, oh, you just need a face. That's all that counts. But they can't say it from personal experience because, well, they not handsome themselves. They think it's what work. And then they think it's what work. But see, they don't know. Now, they might have seen somebody it work for, but then they don't know the whole picture. Like, say they see somebody's real handsome getting some women. They don't know what type of game he spit. That same person might have been talking to him, saying whatever, clicking with him. In fact, I was talking with a friend of mine the other day, lady friend, and she was saying, like, these guys don't know how to touch a woman. It's a lot more to it. See, you got, in fact, I was thinking about something that someone I mentioned on here, Master Yacht's story he told. And he has talked about select and non-select. And a lot of non-select guys don't believe stuff happens with women. Not because it doesn't happen. It hasn't happened for them. And see, that's a major issue. Now, if a guy say, well, I did all this and it didn't work, okay. But they never say that. They never go from that angle. They never talk about themselves in particular. It's always what they think will work. What they imagine will work. But they not getting women. They can't speak from personal experience. They can say, well, you know what? Like the money thing. I know from personal experience and from some other people who I talked to, hey, they were able to get women without spending money on them. That wasn't something I was making up. See, one thing too, and straighten that up. One thing too, when I talk about anything, if I haven't seen it work, either personally or working or seeing somebody else, like seen it, witness it, eyewitness it, I don't talk about it. Like I said about body game. I've several times I said I know body game works because I know who it was before I started working out. Remember, I said I used to have a lot of women had me in a friend zone. They wouldn't give me any play. Then when I started working out, all of a sudden those same women were taking me out the friend zone. Shoot, that happened in recent years. I remember this young lady I was dealing with, somebody who used to watch me on this channel. We had met in public, and some guys who went to the summit, one of C Boogie's self-improvement summits. They met the young lady. She said when she met me in person, she said I was both taller and more muscular than she thought I was. She said she couldn't call me Uncle Rom anymore. Shoot, so I know that works. Because even when some guys talking about, okay, like the looks thing, let's get into that, because a lot of guys get into looks maxing and all that, and that's cool. But see, when women looking at a man, they looking at the whole picture. Or you get some guys out there, they ain't getting women because of their stature or something, right? The issue with that is there's some guys out there doing that. So apparently, okay, what some guys need to think about is, okay, apparently it's something more. One of the things with women, and these guys would know it is, they looking at the whole package. So regardless, they don't just look at one thing and just stop. Even with body game, you still need to have some. You still need to be able to talk to them and everything like that. Or if you thinking it's just face, you still need to dress well. These guys don't know for sure, because they ain't talking from personal experience. They ain't saying, well, I got this, and this, and I'm getting these women. Now, when they say they improved, and they improved on a bigger level, okay, they can get in there and say what they can say. But you got a lot of guys trying to talk, they theorizing. In fact, I used to have some guys, they get on here, they would call what I was saying a theory. I was like, I don't deal with theory. Like I said, if I haven't either personally experienced it or seen it work, and even when I say seen it work, I don't mean on some videos or something like that. Like I'm right there. I'm seeing the woman interact with the man. I'm watching their body language and everything. I don't have to think about, well, what's working for them. I'm seeing it. They're not even telling me. I'm sitting there watching it. I remember when I started college, and this is before the classes start, orientation. Saw this big ass Italiano dude, right? Big ass Italiano dude. And there was a woman next to him, young lady next to him. She was all sweaty and twitchy. And I just looked at him because I read the body language, how she was standing, how he was standing. I said, you hit that, didn't you? He was like, yeah. I witnessed that. Started understanding something. And he wasn't no tight body. Big old dude. Big old pasta eating Italiano. He ain't have no 6-pack abs. He was a cool dude though. He was a cool dude. But I could tell. You can look at that. You got a lot of guys out there, they ain't getting no parts of the pussy. And they ain't getting nothing. And they basically incels. A bunch of incel motherfuckers. Thinking they know what's up. And it was like, look, you gotta have that entire game with a woman. Because even when I talk about body game, I still had that conversation. I still had to have that. I still had to dress a certain way. Still had to let the barber bless me. Because if anybody who's actually getting a lot of women or dealing with them, know women, that's one thing with women, they look at everything. They will look at your fingernails if you got some woman looking for some blue collar dude. Or a woman looking for some clean cut dude. Because see, that's another thing. If you deal with enough women, they be checking out shit you ain't even thinking about. Like I always talk about this one young lady who she didn't think I looked like all that. She wasn't going crazy over my body or anything. But she liked me because in her eyes I was family orientated. She was too. So, hey, that's the thing. That's the thing. Or family oriented. Shit. I know some people get all picky and everything. Or everything I talk about on here, I'm saying, if I'm talking about classes, different classes of women, different types, different subcultures, I'm seeing it. But you got a bunch of guys out here, they just going on some fantasy shit. They don't even know what's up. And it's some bullshit. They ain't got no parts of the pussy and trying to tell people how to get it. Like whatever. Oh, and let me hit something, because every now and then I get some guys like, oh, you ain't getting it. It's like, hold up, motherfucker. First of all, what you looking at another man for? Second of all, you don't know me. You don't know me. Because I had one motherfucker, you ain't getting no play. Yeah, but I got 2 sons, so I got enough play. Probably more than that. Like I said, still one woman unaccounted for. But you don't know. You got these guys don't know. They ain't getting any women. They don't know what it takes. They don't know what it takes, because they ain't doing everything. Or they crying because they don't look like Chad. But you got some dudes out here who don't look like Chad getting a woman. Or you got some guys out here don't look like Tyrone getting a woman. You know? You get some guys out here who say, well, you can't get it, or they don't want short-statured men. Yet if you walk around and look around, you constantly see short-statured men with some women. I told you, I ain't 6 feet, but I ain't 5'9" either. And I see some men around 5'9" or shorter getting women. But the guys complaining, they just ain't getting it. Because what the guys should say is, I'm not getting to play. And what I mean, they should look at themselves, look in the mirror and say, they're not getting to play. I'm not getting to play. I have the problem. And that's really important in one way. One very important way. You have control. Every single man got control over himself. Indeed, there's somebody out every now and then, if I'm going through some reels on IG, I'll see this guy and he'll tell you straight up he's 5'3". He don't have a problem. But he hits the gym, he's engaged in body game, he let the Bible bless him, he dresses well, speaking well. And he even says it. He says, look, I'm 5'3", but I get all this other stuff together. And for the guys worried about their stature, that's all you had to do. If you can only get it so tall. You can only get so tall. And yes, there's some women who don't want that. Okay. But as I said in a car video a while ago, whenever all these things blend together, there's something, you could be whatever, a woman ain't gonna want you. You could be 6'3", square jaw, lean muscles, whatever, and a woman ain't gonna like it. Because as I've said several times, women like different things. If you did, anybody who's dealt with women, like really dealt with women, not one of these guys who hasn't tried to talk to any women, hasn't dealt with a woman, ain't got no parts of the pussy. And if you dealt with these women, you would see that they can like different things. That's why I talk about the tribe. Find out which women you like. In fact, I remember some dude tried to, when I talked about nerdy women going with nerdy men. I've seen that. I've known some nerdy women who've had babies by nerdy men. I told you, I don't talk about anything that I haven't, witnessed. I know several nerdy women who've had babies by nerdy men. And that's because they got something. They don't have to be... See, a lot of dudes go by what some people say. Say, oh, you got to be this, you got to be that. Meanwhile, people who ain't this or that walking through the streets. Like I had talked about when I went to the barber shop years ago and saw this guy. He had a big old lump in his head. He had his 4 kids in there. They had the same exact lump. So some woman wanted him. See, you gotta understand. You got 4 billion women in the world. You gotta learn. Well, first present your best, and then figure out who's liking it. And women, like you got some guys talking about, oh, it's just looks. It's just looks. Hold up. If you think it's just looks and personality don't come in there, that means you don't have a motherfucking personality. And don't get mad at me, because you got to talk to them. What's like even a Chad. Let me use that for a great example. How you gonna? Well, okay. If a woman get with the guy right away, okay, I can get that. But you talking about a relationship, long term. The man and the woman gotta talk. What they gonna do after they finish fucking? Oh, just sit there and stare at each other? You think the woman gonna sit there and stare? Because remember what I was talking about yesterday. At the very least, you gotta connect with a woman. She gotta like what you look like, but she also have to connect with you emotionally. And indeed, sometimes if she connect with you emotionally, you start looking better to her. But some of these guys who thinking, oh no, that don't matter, that's because they got fucked up personalities. And that's one, I'm gonna just say that shit. That's one thing. A lot of those guys who had trouble with women, they ain't cool. That's seriously, they ain't cool. They ain't cool. They mad at the world. They ain't looking at themselves in the mirror. They got some serious issues. Because the woman gotta talk to you no matter what. I want y'all to think about that. The woman got to talk to you no matter what. And that is the thing that any man got to know. But see, you got a lot of men out there talking, even doing some videos. They ain't getting no parts of anything. They ain't getting no parts of it. And I know some gonna be mad at me. Don't be mad at me. I'm telling you the truth. I'm being honest with you. I ain't gonna give you some bullshit and like, oh, well, something wrong with these women and all that. No. Because you got 100% control over yourself. Ain't nobody stopping you from going into the gym. I talk about that because it worked. Or getting a haircut. I'm telling you that because it worked. Or straighten up. I mean, just straighten up as best as possible. And because there are some women, they don't want you, there's some women, plenty of women out there don't want you to be perfect. Because it's normal for, as I said, it's normal for women to want to be the better looking one in the couple. Shit. As long as you look presentable. In fact, that's really all you need. If you look presentable, I would say most women still going to deal with you. Now, you still get some women, they don't want you to be super handsome, but here's the thing, and you learn this dealing with enough women. Those women crazy as shit. They always, if you get some women want you to be too perfect, a lot of times they crazy themselves. And if you deal with enough women, you realize that. And plus, if you're talking about, if you want to put in masculinity in there, just being masculine, a masculine man just going to do his thing. That's why you get some men, they could be rough looking and still get some. In fact, I told you, I got rejected one time by a woman because she told me I was too pretty. She said she liked my eyes and my skin was all smooth. I was too pretty for her. She like a rough looking man. I didn't get mad at her. They just like different shit. And if you actually deal with some women, some of these guys actually go on some dates, deal with some women, they'll see that shit. But these men they just ain't, I mean, it's just that simple. They ain't getting none. They are not getting none. Getting no parts of the pussy. They're dealing with any of these women. They ain't getting women. But they think they know what's up. or thinking, oh, it just takes money. Okay, you getting money? Meanwhile, you got some of these money men being cheated on, or these money men, they paying all this money on a date, still not getting none. And then the woman goes, she go cheat with that guy who's sleeping on an air mattress. Hey, it is what it is. But seriously, if they got women, if they were getting women, they would know it's, shoot, they would experience stuff, experience a rejection, because even Chad has experienced rejection. They would know that. Like I said, you wouldn't even have that whole concept of handsome man game if that's all it took. Shit. They wouldn't what they need game for. If that's all it took, or even just took money. There's plenty of dudes with money. Shoot, what you think all these passport bros, guys traveling overseas, and even before that term was used, you had guys traveling overseas to get a woman. And they just basically paying for her. So that's the thing. That's the thing. Man, somebody looking and stuff. Seriously. I want y'all to think about that. And if you're a guy watching this, you ain't getting to play or something, sit back and learn. Like I said, hit the gym. I'm telling you what to do. Because everything I tell you, like I said, it's either work for me or I personally witnessed it working for someone. I'm telling you, hey, get that style right. Let the barber bless you. Learn how to talk. That's the main thing. Learn how to talk to these ladies. Yeah, I see you, girl. Shoot. Have that conversation. Shoot. So we can let them get out here and then go in the store. Gotta get a couple things. See, understand that, all right? Understand that. Little motherfucker looking all up in here and shit. But understand that that's the game. That is the game, all right? That's what you gotta learn. If you ain't getting to play, at least just say that. At least just say that. Say, you know what, you ain't getting to play. Learn something. Sit and learn something from somebody, all right? Damn, that look like somebody I know. Nah, that ass ain't right. You know? Just real quick, it's fucked up. I be recognizing women sometimes just by their ass. But it's the haircut. And I'm going to tell you what, it gets deeper than that when you recognize different types of women and stuff. But I'll talk about that on another video. And I mean, just their general class, subculture. I mean, there's a lot going into it. But that's something else. But I mean what I say. These guys, they'll say it with authority. I was like, are you one of them? Because, and now watch some dudes get on here and try to say, well, I do. I don't know you, motherfucker. You don't waste time trying to convince me. If you do, you do. If it don't apply, let it fly. Seriously. And that's something else too, just real quick. If somebody say don't apply to you, you ain't convincing me. I don't know you. I don't know you personally. I'm just saying, shoot. Because, well, like they say, hit dogs holler. So if I piss you off, you got something to say, hey, hit dogs holler. That's my first thought. So, anyway, though, that's all I got for today. You know I ain't going to hit y'all up over the weekend. And, yeah, I ain't going to hit y'all up over the weekend. We'll do my thing. And, no, let me just say one last thing. I'll let that go. We'll start on a whole other thing. All right. So anyway, I'll get back with y'all. Y'all have a great weekend. Have a great time. It's Mother's Day, so for the mothers who acting right, boom. Be spending some time with my co-parent and my sons. And that's one thing I give her. Really great mother. Really great mother. I gotta give her that. So, anyway, I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.